12-ounce Sports has a new home for betting. BetUS.com is the official place to place your bets and support 12-ounce Sports. All you have to do is go to BetUS.com and type in the promo code 120Z and you'll instantly get a deposit bonus. This is America's favorite sportsbook. And remember, always gamble responsibly.
What is up? Oh, I hope everybody can hear us. This is why the studio annoys me, Jason. Cut to us before it cut to the intro. What just happened? We got a co-host. That's why we call it What Just Happened. Introduce yourself.
What's up, guys? Jason Lay here. One of the hosts. Best friend, longest friend, that sort of thing. I grew up in just south of Canton, Ohio. Live in Canton, Michigan now. Have since '98. Still a diehard Buckeye, Browns, anything Cleveland, anything Ohio. Pretty much is number one on my list, except for hockey. Red Wings have always been my team. And sorry, Columbus.
Columbus.
Hey, original six. And
I got one Penguins fan here.
Awful.
Let's go Pens.
Hey, so I do have a special treat for you because I
right.
keep track of you wearing all these different hats. I got a surprise hat for you. You're not going to believe this thing. Oh crap! My head's not small anymore. So
doesn't fit your head anymore.
Hey, wait, we're gonna get it. Here we go. Sorry, guys.
Is that a Malvern hat?
This is Magnolia Farm Team, buddy. 1984.
Is that our old Little League hat?
You know it.
Oh my God, that's a throwback. I love it. I love that you're on here. Hey, we got a lot going on. We have a merchandise store. For every $1 you spend in our store, you'll get one entry into a giveaway for March Madness Final Four tickets in Glendale, Arizona, or a comparable priced sporting event. Let's get into it, Jay Lay. You called in last week, so you have a little idea what we do, but we get pissed off and we say, what just happened? And we drink copious amounts of beer. We fake smoke cigars. We may or may not actually hit vapes.
May or may not.
Now, this hits home for you and I, obviously. Purdue, Ohio State guy. I got my Christmas swag up early. This hits home. Is Ryan Day the next John Cooper?
Boy, I've been thinking about that a lot actually since Saturday, right? I don't know. I like this year was actually a really good game, right? Like it just came down to arm gets hit, throws the pick to stop the drive. I thought for sure with certainty we were going to go in there and score that last touchdown, lock it down, and be done with it, right? I thought they played a good game overall, but he needs to go back to being loose. I mean, that's it. Stop being so uptight. Stop being so rigid. That was part of the script that Michigan had, right? I mean, they were creative. They were creative when they had to be.
Do you think he's too loose? Because somebody pointed out on Twitter the other day, the first drive of the second half, the last 8 plays of that drive, we ran the ball every play scored a touchdown, and then we got away from the run game. So is he too loose or is he too rigid?
Yeah, it's a good. I think he just goes very conservative in opportune times, right? And that's where we saw the blowout last year. Same thing, it's like you can see a totally different team when they played Georgia, right, in the semifinal game last year. And it's because it was a lot more loose. You could just tell, like, you got to play like it's your last game, right?
Well,
like that's
CJ Stroud's not coming through that locker room door, though, so it was a little easier last year.
I agree, and that's what I'm saying is, like, you had on the other sideline, you had everybody considers McCarthy to be at least probably a top 20 pick, somewhere in that range at this point. Probably like anywhere between 19 and 24, I guess, is where I'm thinking. And hits his second full year starting. This is this kid's first year. It's McCord's first year. I mean, he sat for a couple years. He definitely grew over the year. And I'll tell you what, I wish I would have videoed this, but I said the thing would come down to is if Ohio State turns the ball over one time or less, there's a really good chance they're going to win. If they turn it over more than that, the likelihood is going to keep going down. And that was the tail of the game. The 2 interceptions.
Well, if you're going to be on 12-ounce sports, document those hot takes because people always want to judge us. We got a show starting tomorrow we'll talk about here after the break. But OSU, Michigan, here we go again, third year in a row. I don't know if Day's the next John Cooper. I will give Day some credit. There were some insiders that said that at the beginning of the year he was hoping some of the underclassmen would take the reins at quarterback. I don't think Kyle McCord was his guy. He had to roll with them if you saw the relationship was icy during the season. Yep. Well, here we are. We did get ranked 6th, which put the football world kind of in tilt again because we may back our way into the playoffs yet again. But what are you going to do?
I'm saying they're legitimately one of the top 5 or 6 teams in the entire country. Let's put that out there, right? They legitimately are. Yes, right now they are legitimately in that group of 5 or 6.
What just happened? The Buckeyes lost control of the rivalry. What just happened? That's why we call it What Just Happened, Jay. On to the next one. Speaking of what just happened, there's blue bloods, and then there's terrible programs, and somewhere in between are the Northwesterns, the Dukes, the Vanderbilts. Brainiacs, right? Yep. Why is Tennessee, who's supposed to be a blue blood, why are they fighting with Vanderbilt? Can somebody tell me why they're getting in fights with scholar athletes? This might be a low point for Tennessee. They're 7-4 going into this game. They were like top 10 early in the season. What's your take? All I can say is what just happened?
I don't mean this, I don't mean to be like, disrespectful to anybody out there, but I'm not entirely sure how the only way you're going to get under the intelligent team's skin is by talking some elaborate math or, some physics or something like that. And I'm sorry, but the makeup of the Tennessee team, it doesn't point to exactly as a bunch of astrophysicists or anything. So I'm not sure. I actually didn't witness it, and I saw the sort of the replay or whatever. It's like, I'm not sure what you're thinking.
It's ridiculous.
What just happened, right?
What just happened? I think we've been seeing a lot more fights in sports lately. Actually, if I'm going to try to guess, it feels like there's more fights in sports nowadays than before. I feel like we're going back to the '80s NBA, the good old days.
Yeah.
Not to go too fast, but this is one of my favorite topics of the day, and I don't mean we'll slow down here in a minute. But I was listening to Bill Burr, his Monday morning quarterback podcast, and he was talking about Gamble Guy. And I'm going to put him up in the screen. The typical greasy gold chains, maybe fake, definitely fake Rolex. These guys go on TV, they go online, and they say, I pick winners. That's all I do. So pay me $9.99 a month, and I'll give you the winners. Why does he need my money if he's that good at picking? What just happened? And why do they always look like they haven't done laundry in a couple weeks and they're probably getting like a $3 sub at some food cart down on the corner? Who are these guys?
Just give me your money. Don't ask questions. It's only $9 a month.
Why do they need my money though?
I have no idea. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why do they need your money? If you're making the picks and you're so sure of them, put your money where your mouth is. You know what I mean?
You know why they need your money? Because they're using your money to place their bets. They don't give a shit if they lose.
Yeah. You get a point there.
they're all the same. So they figure if I can get 100 schmucks to give me $5.99 a month, that's my seed money to make my bets. And then if I'm wrong, I don't care. Jason and Jeff made my bets for me.
Yeah. Guess what? Next month I'll have another fresh $600.
Right. Call me selfish, but if I'm so good at picking on this show, actually, we have 3 locks of the week after the break. On this show, I was in the 90 percentile. I'm down in the low 80 percentile. But you know what? I don't share my picks. I do it on this show, but I'm not going to ask you for money. Like, if I'm good at picks, I'm going to make my picks. I'll tell people what I'm thinking and why I'm making the picks. But I don't need your money because, I mean, when the guy says I need your money, that tells me he's not winning. Because if he's winning, he's making a ton of money. And they all look the same. I had another video. I didn't download or upload it onto the virtual studio, but Degenerate Gamblers actually legit cracked me up because I gamble on a regular basis, but I know when to quit. This guy was in like a scooter, like a Walmart scooter, and there were 4 slot machines in Vegas, and he must have had money in all of them. So he was just driving around, hitting the button, driving to the next one, hitting the button in a circle, hitting the button, driving around, hitting the button until he hit one. If he hit one. I love these people. What just happened? What are you drinking?
I'm drinking a Pilsner of an American descent.
Very nice. I have a Elvis juice. My boss got me on the Elvis juice. And then after those 6 are gone, because yes, we're going to go over 6 tonight. We're putting up stats tonight, Jason. It's my cheat night.
Stats? What kind of stats?
Drinking stats.
Oh, shit. We're going old school, huh?
Maybe some other stats. You never know. But after the 6 Elvis juice, I have some Fatheads Holly Jolly in the fridge. Oh, yeah.
Would you happen to have a good old bottle of untapped Thunderbird back there or no?
I haven't drank Thunderbird in like 30 years.
I remember that story. We won't bring it up on the air, but I remember you telling me that story of Mount Union. And
oh yeah, Mount Union days. Yeah, first time I got blackout drunk. Before our last topic, before the break, and before we get into betting, I do want to mention tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we just signed the only daily lacrosse talk show on the planet, Daily Dive. Every weekday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, they get National Lacrosse League players and coaches and insiders on their show all the time. They're tied into the NLL, which broadcasts on ESPN, and a former 12-ounce sports guy is a play-by-play guy for the Saskatchewan Rush on ESPN, and he got noticed on 12-ounce sports. So tune in tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It'll replay every weeknight at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're pretty excited about it. They are legit the only daily lacrosse talk show on the planet. So looking forward to it. Michael Carvelis texted me, said, make sure you mention us. I got more breaking news too by the end of the show, but not right now. It's going to be tied into gambling. So last topic, Jay, before the break. I don't think you saw this one. I'm guessing. You probably have better things to do than read endless amounts of sports talk. But if you go on 12-ounce sports, 120zsports.com, you would have saw this article. The Pop-Tart Bowl. The Pop-Tart Bowl. Have you heard
of that? What just happened? Why do we have a Pop-Tart Bowl? I remember Puppy Bowl. I mean, come on.
What just happened? That's why we named the show that. It's exactly why the
Puppy Bowl. You remember that? You remember the Puppy Bowl back in the day?
Yes. So the Pop-Tart Bowl used to be the Cheez-It Bowl.
Oh.
And now Pop-Tarts just bought it out. And so they're going to have the mascot's going to be a supersized Pop-Tart. If you look at the article I wrote on 12ozsports.com, I do have a Facebook video of a kid that made a giant Pop-Tart. It's actually pretty impressive. The mascot of the bowl is a giant actual Pop-Tart. And the winning team gets to each player from the winning team is going to take a bite out of this Pop-Tart. What just happened? We're supposed to take these bowl games seriously? Really?
And now we got 6-foot Pop-Tarts.
Hey, you know what I want to see? You know what? I'm going to take a sip of my beer right after this, so you're going to have to talk. What I want to see is like the Christie's Bowl, or I'm trying to think of a famous strip club. So the winning team all gets lap dances. Oh!
Well,
What just happened?
dude, I'm sorry. You get a ton of there'll be a ton of people in for that. You know that.
Oh, teams would be bypassing the playoff and begging to be in the strip club bowl. I'm telling you right now. Free lap dances for all the winning players? Come on.
It's freaking legit.
It's legit. Oh my God, dude, that's the quickest 17 minutes I've ever done on the show. Lately, I've been going over the break, but this is the most I've ever gone over the break. I'm so glad you're on here. We got 3. We can go over if we want.
I've been wanting to be on here since you even like mentioned it to me. It's been well over it's almost been a month and a half now, probably. Just my schedule's been insane, and I'm just happy I was able to finally kind of make it a little bit last week, and nick of time today.
yeah, just in the nick of time. But
Just in the nick of time.
We'll take you. We don't care. We're coming back with locks of the week. We're going to take a quick break. I have a lot of breaking news, so I'm going to try to get to all of it and hope I don't miss anything. You're going to like one of the breaking news. It's about hockey, and it's about being live on 12-ounce sports. What just happened? We'll be right back in about 45 seconds. Peace.
Yes, man.
Welcome to MyBookie. You're ready to create an account and start making money, and we're here to help. And remember, you can get a bonus of up to $1,000 on your first deposit. Now you're ready to bet. Just go to mybookie.ag, visit the sportsbook, click on your bet, and input the amount you want to risk or win in the bet slip. Yes, it's that easy. Just remember, at MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid.
Here we go. Oh, I love the sax. I'm a sucker for the saxophone, Lay. Later, when I'm really drunk, I'm going to be listening to a little Dave Matthews saxophone. What's your go-to music?
I mean, basically that genre, anything jam bandish, Grateful Dead, Fish, that sort of thing. But I will have to say, I didn't get a chance to get the invite out because you had stuff going on Friday, but Todd and I and Julie went to Acoustic Hookah at House of Blues on Friday night for Todd's birthday. And this opening band, I got to give a shout out to them. Their name is Big Blitz. They're out of Pittsburgh. 2 saxophones and a drummer. Absolutely killed it. I mean, when I say killed it. It's like jazz, you name it. Name of music, it's all infused. It was absolutely, it blew my mind.
One of my favorite bands is from Pittsburgh, Rusted Root.
Oh, yeah. Good old Root. Hell yeah.
Pittsburgh's a good music scene. Hey, couple announcements real quick. Again, Daily Dive starts tomorrow at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The only daily lacrosse talk show on the friggin' planet live on 12 Ounce Sports every weekday at 1 p.m. Also, I had a conference call earlier today, Jason. Guess what 12 Ounce Sports just became? A bona fide ticket broker. You can buy sporting event tickets, concert tickets, theater tickets on 12 Ounce Sports very soon. Very soon. Right now, we have affiliate links. We're actually going to be a ticket broker. It's not live yet. Right now on our website, it's just the affiliate links. But pretty soon, we're going to make a big announcement. And I can make special promo codes just for listeners, just for friends. I can set prices. You're going to get to games, concerts, and shows cheaper than the big boys. Oh, yeah.
Seriously, what just happened?
What just happened? I'm working over here, Lay. I'm working over here. I'm working, and you can get nice merch like this on our website too. Locks of the week. I don't know if I went over these. Did I text these to you?
Yeah, you did, and I don't remember off the top of my head. And
listen, here's how we do it on this show. You're allowed to argue with me. I beg you to argue with me. I'm hitting over 80. I'm hitting over 80%. My first one, I couldn't decide on this lock of the week until I was about in minute 50 of my hour drive home today, getting ready for this show. I was teetering back and forth. And I think my lock of the week is Oregon giving up 9.5 to Washington. Now, hear me out. I didn't mean to not capitalize Ducks in the ticker. Hear me out. Oregon lost 36-33 to Washington, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was a good game. I think I had highlights. I could bring them up if they're still on my computer. I don't think I downloaded them. They're on the other software, but that's okay. We don't need to have the highlights. I had highlights for the game ready on the other software. They lost 36-33, but ever since then, Washington has reeled off an inordinate amount of close games against lesser opponents. Why? Penix Jr. was injured in the Oregon game. He severely bruised his ribs. If you've ever had bruised ribs, it's hard to breathe. He's been struggling. They've been having closer than normal games against much lesser competition. Meanwhile, Bo Nix is completing 78% of his passes since the Washington game, and they're rolling dudes. They're rolling teams. This game's in Vegas. Oregon knows that if they beat Washington, they're probably in. They look like the better team. And Washington's kind of been teetering on the edge. I just see Oregon winning this 38-28. What do you think?
Dude, seriously, like when I saw the spread of that game, like to me, that just out of all the championship games this weekend, that one stands out by far. Number one, like you said, I firmly believe whoever wins the Pac-12, right, they're going to get an automatic bid. It doesn't always happen every year, but this year in particular, for sure. And I agree with you 100%. If I'm going to put money on any freaking college football game this weekend at all, it's that one, and I'm going with the points in Oregon for sure. That spread was too big.
Yeah. Oh, the Pac-12's getting in again. There's no way it's not getting in again. Because they've been left out before.
Yep.
The Pac-12 is in either Washington or Oregon.
That's it.
We can go into, will Ohio State get in if Louisville wins and somehow, if Georgia wins, they're in. Michigan wins. Yep. Well, it's not even a question.
Right.
Oh, by the way, Michael Carvel is the host of Daily Dive, the daily talk show that's starting tomorrow on lacrosse.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It seems like he's loving you. He tweeted out.
Oh, there's actually people watching right now, huh?
Oh, yeah. He said, right. I don't know who this childhood friend is with Beck on 12 on Sports, but man, with crying emoji, and then he quoted you, "We'll be back in 45 seconds," and you said, "That's not bad." So if Georgia wins, they're in, obviously. Michigan's going to win. We know that.
Yep.
Florida State could lose.
Yep. Very, very valid. And Oklahoma State could definitely knock off Texas. We'll get to that one. It could happen.
We'll get to that one. But if Florida State loses, that's the Oregon-Washington winner. So now they got to decide Ohio State, Texas, or the Oregon-Washington loser. That's going to be a tough decision. Next year we go to 12 teams. But for the sake of the locks of the week, I got Oregon minus 9.5. They seem to be clicking at the right time. You might disagree with the next one. The next one is, and I know Bama is playing really well, but Georgia's only given up 5.5, and I see Georgia, dude, their defense. Georgia won by 15 last year in this same game, and they have a much better offense and defense than Bama this year. There's a little bit bigger gap between Georgia and Bama this year when it comes to offense and defense. Last year, Bama was a little bit better on defense and a little bit better on offense. Bama needed a miracle to beat Auburn to even – well, they probably would have been in this game anyway, but it would be a 2-loss Bama if it wasn't for a completely bonehead defense by Auburn on the last play. How do you see this game playing out? What just happened in your head?
Yeah, I take Georgia in the points on this one. Georgia, they had a couple games there where it was, kind of sketchy, for them this year. But holy crap, they have been just absolutely dismantling people.
So Georgia's last game was kind of a shocker with Georgia Tech. But the thing about I talked about Washington. Yeah,
but that's a rivalry, right?
I talked about Washington having almost like a record number of one-score games for an undefeated team at 12-0. Georgia's won. Oh, it's a crazy amount. Like they've won. They're like 47-1, and they're like something crazy like that. And they've only had 5 one-score games. Like they don't have a lot of close games. Georgia Tech was weird. Maybe it was a look ahead. Maybe it's because of rivalry. I just don't see Georgia only winning 28-24. They have a very high. They're missing Bowers, their tight end, but they have a very high-powered offense. Now we're running up against the clock, but the good news is my last lock of the week. We might debate over this, but I don't think this is a difficult decision. Michigan's given up 21.5 to Iowa, and a lot of people are like, whoa, pump the brakes. What just happened? Iowa's offense looks like 1905 Yale. They cannot move the ball. So as good as their defense is, Michigan has a better defense than Iowa. As good as Iowa's defense is, Michigan's defense is better. So what's going to happen? Michigan's going to wear them down. They're going to find ways to score. So even if it's 17-0 going into the fourth quarter, seems like a low score, old school style game. I don't see how Iowa even scores 7 in this game. Do you?
No, but you have to remember, I don't know, I kind of looked at this one a little bit, but what is it? Michigan's former, the one that was in the competition with McCarthy last year, he got injured this year. He was Iowa's starting quarterback. He knows everything about, he spent, several years at U of M. He knows everything inside and out, number one. Number two.
Are you saying he stole signs?
Yeah, there's kind of a sign that he might have. But no, honestly, you bringing up the Yale 1905 offense fits in perfectly with this. I see, it's going to sound crazy, I see Iowa honestly covering the spread because they're going to slow play the entire game. They're going to try to just run that ball, and they do have a really good – I think they have a sneaky good defense. I just think they're going to cover the points. That's where I disagree with you, but I think they're going to cover the points in this one. That's just me. And then, yeah.
Parting shot. What do you think the final score is? We're running out of time.
I want to say it's going to probably be, 24-6. 2 field goals.
I think you had too many pops. I think it's going to be 31-3. We did it. Stay in the studio. We're going to talk afterwards.